Bombay High Court has quashed the FIRs against foreigners who attended the Tablighi Jamaat congregation. The Bombay High Court has said that there was a big propaganda in the media against foreigners attending the Jamaat congregation. An attempt was made to create a picture that they were responsible for spreading COVID-19 in India. The High Court was hearing a petition filed by 29 foreign nationals who were booked under various sections of the IPC, the Epidemic Diseases Act, the Maharashtra Police Act, the Disaster Management Act and the Foreigners Act for allegedly violating tourist visa conditions by attending this congregation. Let's go across to Saurav Gupta, who's been monitoring this High Court hearing. So, some very strong words from the Bombay High Court, going so far as to say that a political government tried to find a scapegoat where there was a pandemic ongoing.
Absolutely, and this was something that was discussed because, at that point of time, several media bulletins that were reporting on the pandemic, giving you an idea of where cases are spreading, how many cases are being reported. In several states, those guidelines also found mention, or those reports also found mention of the Tablighi Jamaat. And on social media, on perhaps some sections of mainstream media as well, there was this whole sort of idea that was propagated that it was this gathering that was responsible for spreading the virus across the country. Now, that is something that perhaps what the court is trying to address, because it almost seemed like a victimization of one community. And that's something that many actually pointed out even at that point of time. At this point, the court order is very clear. It says, there was virtually persecution against these foreigners. A political government tries to find a scapegoat when there is pandemic or calamity, and the circumstances show that there is probability that these foreigners were chosen to make them scapegoats. And this is something that it is now high time for the concerned to repent about this action taken against foreigners and to take some positive steps to repair the damage done by such action. And that is something that perhaps what's important, because the court order extremely important in the sense that what we saw at that point was almost like a campaign that ran saying that these were the people who were responsible for the spread of the coronavirus in pandemic in India. And that kind of led many to believe that, well, maybe it's the reason of that the gathering at the Nizamuddin Markaz was the reason why the pandemic spread to different parts of the country. But evidence now, in hindsight, points to the contrary, that it was not just these people. Perhaps in some cases, yes, but there were many other super spreaders as well. And that's something that perhaps one needs to look at in the context of the High Court order that's come.